Hey guys, Jason LaCorey again. I'd like to thank you for coming back to my studio. We're going to be working in here today on some stuff I would normally do in the workshop, but my workshop is still full of big papier-mâché pumpkins and latex pumpkins and basically pumpkins of every kind, because we're still working on Jack vs. Lanterns and we will never have enough pumpkins for that movie. I want to thank any new subscribers, encourage anybody who's finding this video now to subscribe if you're interested in what goes into making really low-budget monster movies. Forgive my state of dress. If I get as far into this as I'd like today, I'll be working with some latex and paint, and I don't want to ruin any good clothes, so I'm dressed like this. This is a little off the beaten path for Jack vs. Lanterns. In fact, it doesn't have anything to do with any movies I'm in the middle of right now, but it is a very important thing. The end of January is official Ape Suit Performer Day or Ape Suit Day, and this is my Ape Suit. And I don't know if you can see it. It used to have this great latex chest area here, and it has just dried out over the years and cracked. And I mean, when I take it out, pieces of it just fall to the floor. It's completely unusable now. At one point, it had just cracked open, and this is actually still really fresh. I can feel it. It had just cracked open at one point, and I just took black latex and put it over the original textured latex and had these pieces here. That kind of worked for my ape character because it gave him a scar tissue type of look, and my ape's kind of, you know, he's always in the midst of a fight or whatever. He's our monster. Anybody who makes monster movies probably has some kind of ape suit. Your basic monsters are your furry, your gorillas, your Sasquatches, your werewolves, your minotaurs, just anything that's covered in hair. Your scaly, your fishmen, your reptiles, your aliens who come from a green scaly background, your earthy rock and tree and mud creatures, and then your basic muscular humanoids and deformed guys like cyclopses, people with horns and who hunch or whatever. One of the great things is, as part of my ape suit, to give him that more hunchy look, I actually built a hunchback for him, but it's got a piece of Velcro on the back for the hair. So we've used his hunchback for a cyclops, a mutant, and the gorilla already. So we interchange the parts when we can to kind of mix the monsters up and get as much use out of them as we can. But a lot of people, their first creature suit is an ape suit. And so I thought for Ape Suit Day, we try and get this one back on track. If you look at any of my older movies that use the suit, you'll see that I go for a more anthropomorphized look, a more humanoid look. My ape does tend to walk a little more upright, and he looks less gorilla and more monstery because it's usually what we're going for. I prefer a muscular ape to a realistic, beer-bellied ape. His hunch is in the middle instead of to both shoulders. And we got a great head that we use from Zangone Studios with their permission. If you ever buy a mask from those guys and want to use it in a movie, give them a contact. You can talk directly to the owners and stuff. It's fantastic. And they make really quality stuff. So this suit's about 12 or 13 years old. So this dried out latex is we got this one from Oriental Trade, the suit itself, and I've been building it up ever since. And so this is to be expected when it's kept in a basement. Like the back end of the latex feels great, but this front end is just completely dried out. And at one point, see, it's cracking in my hand while I'm trying to talk to you about it. There goes a piece of it. At one point, when we originally got it, he had a real kind of gorilla belly and almost mammary breast for a gorilla. So I'm going to take this opportunity to change that up and make him a little more muscular, add a rib cage where the gut used to be, and maybe put some pecs in. But what I'm going to have to start with is a base to hold this all together. Now the easiest way to fix this if you're on a real budget is just cut this piece out. Go get some fake fur from, a Joann's or a local fabric store. Hot glue that in. Boom, you're done. You got a full fursuit now. But again, I want to put a more muscular chest in there. So what I'm going to do is use this black as my base and cut out a basic shape of a chest with some muscles and taper it down. It might involve changing the shape that we glue this hair back on. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work. I do know that the jumpsuit's a little loose here. The nice thing is, since I'll be using hot glue to start before we use any other kind of glue to hold it down, which eventually I'm assuming we're going to have to. It might just be the latex that holds it down at the end. This foam core that I got, this black foam core, I got for $1. Made in the USA, which is awesome. We try to buy made in the USA stuff as much as possible, which isn't very often that we can pull that off, but we do try. And when you can get it for $1, fantastic. So we got this for $1. It looks like actually cutting this in half will cover the space we need. So 50 cents worth of it will let me experiment with it. If that doesn't work, then we'll just cut it out to the actual shape of the hole instead of trying to pull the hole we're going to leave behind from this in. Originally, I was going to try and save these pectorals, but I don't think they're going to look very good. So what I'm going to do, I've got this green open cell foam, and this is actually a scrap piece. You can see I cut, oh, there's the shape. I cut the mandibles for a giant spider in in Lumber vs. Jack out of this, which is available on Amazon right now, by the way. Amazon Prime if you want to see it. So our giant spider head, the mandibles came from this foam. And I like to reuse and use every scrap of foam I can. You can see I got this little scrap bag here too. Better for the environment to use it all up. So we'll cut his pecs out of this, and I'm going to try and cut some abs out of this. We'll glue them to our foam core when it's on there. And when it's all done, I'm going to cover it in black latex. I may possibly need to use a skin over that first. Also for Lumber vs. Jack, at one point, this little studio space here was a gigantic web den for that spider creature I told you about. And we bought way more white foam batting than we could ever use in my lifetime. So we gave some away for someone to stuff a couch, and we used it in the garden to protect flowers and in the frost and stuff. But I still have some left. So if I need to put a skin over this, I will, like I did on my Fishman creature. And we're going to go for a chest like my Fishman and my Tree Man. I'll try to post some pictures in the video here so you can see what they look like. And now I'm going to take the camera off and give you a look at the damage to this chest piece that's in here now. All right, so this is what's going on with our ape suit. See, the latex is split away from the fur here. This is the front. And if you hear it, I mean, it's dried out like cardboard. It's just not gonna. Those are the pecs that were on there. I was never super satisfied with this piece, so I'm not too disappointed that I need to fix it after all these years. But all we're gonna do, I mean, I was gonna cut it out, but basically, this piece when you grab it from the back, it really feels like it could be saved. But the center and stuff, I don't think it's worth it at this point. I'm gonna cut it out instead of rip it out, because if we can keep some of the pieces, and I decide I need it, I'm such a hoarder. But if I decide I need it later, I'm gonna hate myself if I just tore it apart. Like this belly button might still be usable. And we'll see how the better pecs work. Alright, so that's the damage to the suit. There is a way I would look up on YouTube to store latex more properly than in a Rubbermaid bin in a basement that has moisture problems. And so if any of you guys find that, feel free to send it to me, and I'll give it a watch and maybe save the suit the second time I'm using it. Do a quick macro focus here. This is the back of the piece. When I was cutting it, it sounded like I was afraid I was cutting into the fabric or the hair of the gorilla suit, because you want to keep as much hair on your suits as possible. Especially these nice long hairs really work well for covering up imperfections, and they move really well on camera. But you can see this, you can almost see it, this kind of ribbing in here. There's a fabric-y tape that they use to put the top half, for some reason the bottom half isn't, but the top half of this latex piece on. That's what they attached it with. And so this is what held up well. So I'm wondering, you guys who have these suits that are still in good shape, if you want to look at maybe getting some gaff tape or something. Because even this side, where it's dried out, and was cracking, at least stayed together with this stuff back here. So you might want to see about putting some tape back there and giving it some reinforcement from the back and kind of sealing it up. And I would even maybe take some liquid latex. I usually use molding latex. I think this time I just have regular liquid latex. And doing the inside of this to keep it from drying out. So that's that there. And again, take a look at the kind of mesh back here that it was attached to. And I'm going to go ahead and trace out our foam board now. I'm going to cut that in half and then get a trace on it. Alright, so I'm back. I cut it almost in half. And then I tried the smaller piece in here first to see if that would work, and it looks like it does. It's not glued on there right now. What you would do if you're smarter than me is, wear it or have someone who is about the size of the people who are going to wear it, and make sure that this spread is enough. I'm pretty sure that that's going to work. You want to have room inside to glue the suit to later with look at all these pieces still falling off, with a fabric glue, like a liquid stitch. What I kind of like about this is closed up. It's not perfect, but I even think in a night shot, this would cover the suit enough to work, and then if you wear some black clothing, that'll work. The next thing I'm going to do is glue the chest and add pieces to it. The trick here is to make sure they're going to fit in this confine. I would have cut the chest pieces much larger than this space here to make him look more muscular. Now I'm realizing I have to cut the circles smaller than I planned. I'm not going to glue it into the suit before I skin and latex it, though, because I don't want to get the latex and stuff on the hair. I'll do that in the workshop. Basically what I do with that is I take the liquid latex or the molding latex. Either one will work. The molding latex will build up quicker, though. I just put the black paint right in. It'll dry kind of grayish, which is perfect for this. Unless I decided to go with a flesh color, because I do have flesh colored hands, but I also have a black set of hands. I have different monster hands for this guy. But so I'm going to measure this out, put the chest and add pieces on. I'll show you that, and then I'm probably going to stop until I get this into the workshop and can figure out where we're going to latex it. Heat. You want to just go ahead and make sure you leave some of the foam core to do the glue and the fabric joined together. But you want to put enough latex on there so that it's flexible, and when it breaks, it's got some strength to it. I'm going to go ahead now and switch batteries, and then we'll finish off with the abs and gluing this stuff on. So I hadn't realized that the stomach area was quite so small here. So we got the chest piece on. I did one piece instead of two like I normally would. And then the stomach area, I was only able to give him 4 ab muscles there, because there's just, we'd be going down into his fur here to go any further. And here you can see some hot glue. I'm sorry you guys missed it. I was thinking how I should warn you to be careful with the hot glue gun, not to burn yourself. And unfortunately it was all the battery was off, so you missed the action. I burned myself, and twice. So I dropped the glue gun and got some messy glue there. This will all get covered with the latex. When you're putting the glue on, you can use it fairly sparingly. I only did the edges here. I went all along the edges here, all along the edges here, and little stripes down the center. You can see a piece here is already coming up. Little stripes down the middle here to hold it. Because once we start getting the latex on there, the latex will go over these pieces and onto here. It'll hold this really well, especially if we wind up putting the skin over it also. I'm going to do a coat of latex and see how it looks, probably 2. See how it looks, and then if it needs the skin, I can always put that over it. It'll give the skin something to adhere to while then when I put the second coat of latex over the skin piece. And again, we're going to glue in these corners here once it's all done. So that is part 1 of repairing my ape suit for National Ape Suit Day. Or is it World Ape Suit Day? My Ape Suit Cinema guys correct me. And hopefully I'll be able to make some room in the workshop for the latex section, because I won't need to have the whole suit with me, just the chest piece. And we'll shoot it in there if we can, because I much prefer working with that stuff in a room that I've already destroyed. So we'll see you soon, guys. Thanks. Click subscribe. Check out other movies on my YouTube channel, Alien Vengeance, A Night Alone, or Alien Vengeance 2 Rogue Element. Those both feature this suit before it fell apart. One of them may have the scarred chest in it, if not both. And if you can still find it, there's a movie called Scavengers with the original head and everything that Abysmal Entertainment made, and I did a gorilla dance in that, which is kind of fun. So we'll see you soon. Hopefully I will have the second half of this up. I'm planning on Tuesdays and Saturdays being my thing. So hopefully we'll have the second half up on Saturday. Thanks. Bye.